I just sensed that there could be something in my family history that would be disappointing.
Negative.
Negative, yes. I thought I was gonna have that kind of moment. And Skip had asked me to do it for a long time, and I finally decided to do it because I thought it'd be helpful for my children.
Sonny Hostin and The View are allegedly under investigation for money laundering for Emmanuel Hostin. Sonny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are allegedly at the center of a massive federal insurance fraud investigation that has made waves in both the media and legal circles. The couple is reportedly facing serious accusations related to a complex and widespread scheme involving fraudulent insurance claims. Dr. Hostin, a physician, is supposedly accused of performing unnecessary surgeries and submitting fake medical procedures to insurance companies, all while allegedly receiving kickbacks for his role in these activities. The lawsuit, which has involved nearly 200 defendants, claims that the Hostins and others were part of an organized fraud ring that took advantage of New York's no-fault insurance laws. The legal ramifications are significant, as experts have pointed out that the case could potentially be the largest RICO, Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act case in New York since the Mafia era. Under RICO laws, if the allegations are proven true, damages could be tripled, meaning the lawsuit could balloon into a financial catastrophe for those involved. Moreover, if convicted, Dr. Hostin is allegedly facing the possibility of life in prison, a serious consequence that could destroy not only his career but also his family's reputation. To make matters more complicated, there are growing rumors about Sonny Hostin's potential involvement in the alleged fraud. Some reports suggest that she may have played a role in covering up the illegal activities by moving money through shell companies or using her legal background to help keep transactions hidden from investigators. This has raised questions about her personal and professional credibility, especially considering her public persona as a lawyer and outspoken commentator on The View. In addition to the legal troubles faced by the Hostins, The View itself is allegedly facing its own legal issues as a result of this scandal. Critics suggest that the show could be held responsible for allowing a host with such serious allegations against her to continue appearing on air. Some are even calling for her resignation, arguing that the cloud of legal controversy surrounding her could tarnish the reputation of the show. There's speculation that network executives may be keeping a close eye on how this story unfolds, possibly preparing for internal action if the legal situation worsens. The ongoing investigation into the Hostins' financial activities and The View's potential involvement in the scandal adds a layer of uncertainty, with public scrutiny intensifying both for Sonny Hostin and for the network. Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, the husband of The View co-host Sonny Hostin, is allegedly at the center of a large-scale federal insurance fraud scheme that has shocked many. He is reportedly accused of performing unnecessary surgeries and submitting false insurance claims for medical procedures that were never needed, all as part of a coordinated effort to defraud insurance companies. According to the lawsuit, Dr. Hostin, along with nearly 200 other individuals, allegedly participated in this fraudulent operation.
She's European.
Yeah.
I know. It's
Yeah.
weird because when you look at her, my mother's blonde and she has light eyes, and my whole family looks like that. So I think inside, I sort of knew that this was my history, and that's probably why I didn't want to do it. And I spoke to my mom about it. She was deeply disappointed. She actually cried about it.
Which is said to have spanned multiple years and involves significant financial kickbacks. One of the most concerning aspects of this case is the size and scope of the fraud, which allegedly involved a network of medical professionals, patients, and other accomplices, all exploiting New York's no-fault insurance laws. These laws are meant to cover medical expenses for people involved in car accidents, but the lawsuit claims they were being abused to submit false medical bills for non-existent or unnecessary treatments. Dr. Hostin, as one of the main medical figures in the alleged scheme, supposedly played a central role in orchestrating these fake procedures, which could have cost the insurance companies and, by extension, the public millions of dollars. Furthermore, the accusations against Dr. Hostin extend beyond just the fraudulent claims. Reports suggest that he allegedly accepted kickbacks from other parties involved in the scheme in exchange for performing the fake surgeries and submitting the fraudulent claims. This, if proven true, could significantly compound the legal issues at play, as it points to a long-running and deeply entrenched network of fraud, not just an isolated instance of malpractice. The legal stakes are high, as Dr. Hostin could face severe penalties if convicted, including potentially life in prison due to the size and scope of the fraud. This case, if it continues to unfold with these serious allegations, could have long-lasting repercussions for Dr. Hostin's career and his personal life, and it threatens to cast a shadow over his family's reputation for years to come. In addition to the allegations surrounding Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, there are growing rumors that his wife, Sunny Hostin, may have been involved in to cover up the alleged fraud scheme. Some reports suggest that Sunny, with her legal background as a former federal prosecutor, might have used her expertise to assist in hiding the fraudulent activities from investigators. This has raised serious questions about her role in the situation, especially considering her public persona as a legal expert and outspoken commentator on The View. One of the more serious allegations is that Sunny may have helped funnel money through shell companies to conceal the illicit transactions. Shell companies are often used in financial fraud schemes to hide the true origin of money, and if it's true that Sunny used her knowledge of legal loopholes to assist in this manner, it would suggest a deep involvement in the operation. Reports have claimed that she might have even acted as a middleman, ensuring that the money from the fraudulent insurance claims remained untraceable, further complicating her involvement in the case. This potential involvement is especially ironic given Sunny's public stance on legal matters. As a former prosecutor, she built a career defending justice, holding others accountable for criminal activity and calling out corruption. Now, if these allegations are proven to be true, her role in allegedly aiding her husband with such a large-scale fraud operation would represent a severe contradiction to the values she publicly champions on The View.
And then she said, maybe that's why I have been so connected to Black culture, because it's an atonement in my spirit. And I received that. I also found out that, and there were slaves on both sides of her family, mothers and fathers, but we are 7% indigenous Puerto Rican.
If Sunny is indeed found to have played a part in the alleged cover-up, the consequences for her career could be catastrophic. Aside from potential legal ramifications, including criminal charges, her credibility as a commentator and public figure would be severely damaged. This could result in a loss of trust among her audience and may lead to her departure from The View, where she has long been a prominent voice in legal and political discussions. The allegations against Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are not only significant in terms of their financial implications, but also for the potential legal consequences they face, particularly under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations (RICO) Act. If the accusations are proven true, the case could evolve into one of the largest RICO cases in New York since the Mafia era, a comparison that speaks to the scale and severity of the fraud allegations. The RICO Act allows for harsher penalties and the possibility of triple damages in fraud cases, which means that the financial fallout could be enormous. The lawsuit claims that Dr. Hostin and nearly 200 others were part of an organized criminal ring that exploited insurance laws for years, leading to a potential multi-million-dollar scheme involving fake medical procedures and unnecessary surgeries. One of the most alarming aspects of this case is the possibility of life imprisonment for Dr. Emmanuel Hostin. Since the RICO Act is often applied to large-scale organized crime, convictions under this law can result in lengthy prison sentences. If found guilty, Dr. Hostin could be facing not only financial ruin, but also the complete collapse of his career and personal life. The scale of this case is also compounded by the number of defendants involved. With hundreds of individuals named in the lawsuit, it's expected that many will try to settle or distance themselves from the fraudulent activities, leading to a complex and lengthy legal battle that could drag on for years. For Sunny Hostin, the financial damage may not be the worst of the consequences. While the lawsuit could result in a massive monetary penalty, the potential for her to face criminal charges herself, especially if she's proven to have aided or facilitated the fraud, is a significant concern. The public fallout could be just as devastating, as her role on The View and her image as a legal expert could be tarnished beyond repair. If the case continues to unfold as seriously as it appears, the Hostins' lives could be turned upside down in ways that reach far beyond just their financial standing. Sunny Hostin's past as a federal prosecutor adds a layer of irony to the allegations now surrounding her and her husband. As a former prosecutor, Sunny built her career on upholding the law and advocating for justice, which is why the current accusations against her and her family are so striking. The idea that she might be involved in covering up her husband's alleged fraud raises serious questions about her credibility and motivations, especially considering the contrast in her professional background and the accusations she now faces.
I have an ancestor, my third great grandfather, immediately registered to vote even though he was illiterate. And he voted with an X, Dean Cummings with an X. And then he was threatened with lynching by the KKK. by others in the South.
Before becoming a media personality, Sunny was known for her work as a federal prosecutor, where she was tasked with upholding the law and prosecuting those who engaged in criminal activities. Her legal expertise was supposed to position her as someone with a strong sense of right and wrong, someone who was not only capable of understanding the law, but also of fighting for justice. This public image was reinforced by her outspoken views on The View, where she frequently commented on issues of corruption, accountability, and injustice, often advocating for those who had been wronged by powerful systems. Now, however, those very qualities are being called into question as rumors swirl that Sunny might have used her legal knowledge to assist in hiding fraudulent activities tied to her husband. The idea that she could have leveraged her legal skills to help her husband evade the law seems almost incongruous with the image she cultivated as a law-abiding, justice-driven public figure. Reports suggest that she might have used shell companies or other legal loopholes to cover up transactions related to the alleged insurance fraud, which would represent a blatant contradiction to the values she has long championed. If these allegations hold any truth, the irony of Sunny's situation will be difficult to ignore. Her legal career, once built on principles of justice and accountability, could now be overshadowed by these very same being allegedly manipulated for personal gain. The legal consequences of such actions could be severe, not only in terms of potential criminal charges, but also in terms of the lasting damage to her career and reputation as a commentator and public figure. The unfolding situation involving Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, has rapidly escalated into a major legal scandal, with serious allegations of federal insurance fraud and organized criminal activity surrounding their names. If the accusations are proven to be true, the consequences could be life-changing, not only for the Hostins, but also for The View as a platform. Sunny's past as a federal prosecutor now casts an ironic shadow over the claims that she may have helped cover up fraudulent activities, potentially using her legal expertise to shield her husband's illicit actions from scrutiny. The impact of this scandal extends beyond financial losses, with the potential for significant criminal charges and the destruction of both Dr. Hostin's medical career and Sunny's public persona. Her role on The View is under intense scrutiny, and the network is reportedly watching closely as the situation develops. As more details emerge, the public's perception of Sunny Hostin as a truth teller and advocate for justice is increasingly being challenged, with mounting evidence and the legal battle expected to drag on for years. The Hostins face not only legal battles, but a public relations nightmare. This saga serves as a stark reminder of the complexities and consequences that come with accusations of fraud, especially when those involved are prominent public figures with a history of advocacy for accountability and justice.